objectively amazing. The rest of them are
Hot
Fuzz?
Hot
Fuzz is
so
amazing.
blah. Hot Fuzz is so blah.
You like catching them swans then?
I love Hot Fuzz. I very much enjoy Hot Fuzz. I think it's hilarious. However, it is such a mediocre movie.
I would say that Shaun of the Dead is worse than Hot Fuzz. Like, they're both amazing, but I think that Hot Fuzz is better than Shaun of the Dead.
God, Hot Fuzz is so... Like, Shaun of the Dead is at least comical the entire movie. Hot Fuzz, there are scenes that are supposed to be comical, but then it's like... it just...
Every scene in Hot Fuzz is hilarious.
I haven't seen any of these movies.
I don't think there's a single scene that isn't
single
amazing in that movie. Just saying.
Did we go live in that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, how are you doing?
Listen, if you want some amazing Hot Fuzz, I'll see you in the UK, Neil.
So,
yeah, that fanfic is canon now.
Amelia and Gilwyn walk into a bar.
Why is it always a bar, by the way?
It's a pub.
This is the weird tavern in the middle of what used to be a park that does not look like it belongs there.
Nice location for
where all the mercenaries hang out. And you go in there, and immediately, Amelia, with passive perception, whatever, you notice that, yeah, it's pretty quiet, but in one corner is this huge golden scale dragonborn. Just huge. He's not, and you can tell he's golden scaled because he's not wearing anything from above the waist. And he's just sort of leaning over a table with several plates of food, and several mugs. And it's the sort of thing where he's actually right now with sort of the clawy nails is carving a what?
The claw-eat nails. So the claws.
Well, they don't have quite claws. They just have kind of like sharp
clawy nails.
Clawy nails.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Clawy nails.
It's he, Dean. Don't question the DM. They know what's going on.
They're not questioning the DM. They're just ragging on him.
True. It's like my internet's ragging right now.
Would you like to speak to him? I mean, I could walk up and ask him what he knows about underground cultist activity, but that wouldn't be the most friendly way to go about it.
Is Amelia intimidated by this guy?
No,
Or is
I think
she
Amelia
shy?
just knows
Is
that
she
she...
shy?
I'm not good at talking to people.
Yeah. She just knows what she is.
I'd beckon her to the bar so we're turned away from him, and I'd say, I just finished talking to him about Humble. A friend. Have you met Humble? He's a nice guy. Anyway.
I've met Humble.
I've just finished speaking to him about Humble, who I think is probably... we shouldn't talk to him today, and you shouldn't talk to him today, because he's going to get suspicious.
Okay. Why did he come to the pub then?
So you know who he is.
But you could have just... told me. He was here.
Now you know.
Okay. I know. I see him.
Someone click
He looks...
And
Oddly
honestly,
enough, he looks like a gold dragonborn. They're very common and not completely distinctive in the slightest.
And honestly, I kind of just wanted another drink. And maybe you want to get a drink?
Oh, he's hitting on you.
No, I'm not.
He was creative.
Give him
Just want a
credit.
drink.
Okay, you can grab a drink.
Okay.
I'm just an addict. I swear I don't want to spend time with you alone away from my weird friends.
Yeah, we are weird.
You are weird, friends.
Fair
It's
days.
better than going back to the awkwardness back at the house, I suppose.
So, sorry,
It's
say
like
that again.
Melody in the middle floor in the kitchen, Sid in the basement, and me in the attic.
Yeah, they're just all on their own. Melody's cooking, Vale's doing
Probably
nothing, and
strange
Sid's
noises
doing nothing
coming from
but
everyone's
kind of
rooms.
via doing something.
Yeah, so better than that.
So you're drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll have a
basically,
single
yeah,
drink.
sure, I'll have a drink with you.
Alright.
You have a single drink.
Yes.
Get yourself a 4 copper mug of ale. At this point, Gilwyn, you know the bartender and the bar staff here pretty well, the rock gnomes and stuff that tend here, so they like slide you over the drink that you usually get. I don't know, is Gilwyn a cider man?
Nope.
Oh,
Ale.
Ale, okay, good. Probably a better choice, but for some reason I could see Gilwyn
I am
enjoying
going
a
down as
cider.
a cider man. He's a fruity kind of guy.
I'm a cider man, but I wouldn't say no to an ale either. But yeah, you sit and drink and probably chat about crazy.
It's not a date though.
It's not a date. You just sitting opposite each other at a small table.
I'd probably
Drinking together alone.
I'd probably like be drinking my ale, and I'd look at her and I'd be like, "Oh, this is internally. I think this is the first time me and Amelia have been alone together."
Right.
Oh god, this is gonna be like an unbearably awkward peep show moment with internal monologue. Oh god, what do I say?
Why are my hands doing this weird thing? Where are my hands? Is this normal? Is this normal?
I like it.
For the record, that
So
entire section, you were all very glitchy robot people, and it worked.
I can see that. I'm a glitchy man.
Anyway,
So, Amelia,
Gil.
on a scale of 1 to 4, please
Very
rank.
weak scale.
Please rank us,
That's a very odd scale. Why would you use 1 to 4?
because there's 4 of us.
Oh, you mean like in order?
Yeah,
No, that's terrible. Why would I do that?
it's fun. We're having fun.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Okay. What's fun? What's fun? Please tell me what's fun.
I've been working on this new spell work. And this new potion for you, which you don't seem to want to try. We could do some of that.
You want to test things on me, and that's fun.
Oh, well,
Go on,
A
it's
little bit.
okay.
a little bit.
I'll get out a little bit of chalk from my component pouch and draw it and say, look, this is a circle of trust. You can tell me anything.
Okay.
And then I'll draw like a really half-hearted rune in the middle.
That got me. That
That's a good one.
he really is a bard.
Well, I really like melody.
Me too.
Mhm.
I'd definitely... Ooh. Vale would very much be angry if I rated Melody above him. But I'm going to do it anyway. Melody is number 1 for me as well. Number 2?
I like Sid. We have many similar.
I was hoping you were going to say me, because it's kind of...
Only lately, and that's not his fault.
I can see where this is going.
So, Vale's
What's a
4th.
good number?
Yeah.
Ah!
I'll take third. I'll take third.
You hear while you're having this conversation, someone on another table, like a dwarf, just goes, "People spend their entire lives training to get third," and then he just leans into his mug, with a dead-faced glare.
Oh.
So, how
Incidentally-
have you been feeling lately?
Hmm?
How have you been feeling lately? With your affliction?
Ollie, have I been feeling any...
You feel great.
I've-
Well,
I've-
good enough.
This is date, right? Amelia just went, "How are you doing?"
This is
Feeling
kind of
okay, buddy?
this is the first date in the dating sim where it's not yet a date. You're just hanging out.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
first time if I talk to a friend and it's been a while, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, how's things
Yeah,
been?
but normal
Hey.
people, that's a date thing.
Really?
You only ask people how they're doing if you want to bone them.
I
What?
never really dated, so I don't really know.
Wait, hold on.
I kind of
This
figured
is
that
a-
part.
this is
I
a
dated,
joke,
I
man.
dated a considerable amount.
This is a joke.
And,
These are
what
jokes
the
that are coming
what?
from my mouth.
I used
How
to
you
have
doing?
staff.
Let's just
I used to have
pretend
staff of like
that
over
didn't happen.
50, and when my employees came in, I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? How's your day?" Doesn't mean I want to bone my entire
How you
staff.
doing?
Who does it?
I'm like, so tonight when we're preparing for dinner, the specials today are going to be codfish,
That was the sexiest meal you could come up with.
Codfish.
Who even says codfish?
And for the children, we're
Fish
gonna have
fingers.
nuggets.
And potato waffles. Smiley faces, maybe.
Doing well.
Right,
That's
you
cool.
get back to your date, you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
don't let us distract you.
Oh dear.
Incidentally, Amelia, you would be third for me as well.
Oh. Good. That would make Sid fourth for you.
Yeah, I think so.
You
Why
thought
is
about that for too long.
I'll tell you why.
Mhm.
As much... I really, really do like Sid.
Mhm.
But the problem with Sid is that he thinks he's smarter than he is. And that annoys me. That really annoys me.
I mean, his spellwork is a bit brilliant.
But then he lectures you about everything. Like, things that aren't spell work. And you kind of just tut and walk away, and I like that more than being lectured for half an hour.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, you're third. Definitely third.
Well, this was a fun game.
And I'll let a
Shouldn't say
moment
that,
of
buddy.
awkward silence.
Uh huh.
And I'll go seconds, implying drinks.
Sure.
And as I'm walking to the bar, I'll go yes, and grab 2 more drinks and sit back down.
Cool.
Don't need to roleplay the rest.
No, I was gonna say, I imagine it's just.
I
Sort of,
imagine conversation continues very awkwardly.
it's awkward, but it's you know when you're having an awkward conversation, but the exact same conversation is less awkward when you're drunk. That's what happens. Although Amelia is getting tipsy and Gilwyn is normal because Gilwyn has an iron liver, iron
just
organ.
dead.
of
It's
some
just
kind.
dead. It's undead.
Iron organ is something else entirely, I think.
It was a fist pump just because he's getting Amelia to drink more.
Sure. You're just
Genuinely,
giving.
I swear.
There are people in the audience who ship every which way, and you've just given fuel to the fire. Just saying. We might not have the biggest audience, but we have shippers. Is that the term? Must be. Anyway, so they're drinking. You come back later on. I imagine you just go to bed, go your separate ways. Although I don't even remember the sleeping arrangement in the house. There's a bedroom in the back, I think, and you just have a couple of soft places because I think there's only one bed.
I mean, if everyone's awake, whoever's awake, I'll let them know what we found out.
It would be
Oh, yeah, definitely.
She probably wouldn't have much to talk about in response.
I would definitely tell tell Vale about what I saw at the pub and the gold dragonborn, etc.
He's still up in his room, and you can just hear like every now and again like this thump of something against wood.
Oh dear. Go check on that elf.
Amelia, are you with me? Or did you go
Yeah.
back to your room? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
She's like behind you, staggering.
I assume,
She's
I
had
assume
3
it's
now.
small enough that I could have heard Gil explaining to the door, presumably by the sounds of it, about what he found out.
What I imagine Gilwyn would go open the door to the attic to explain to him.
Well, he didn't specify this.
I think if he knows Vale is in there, he's gonna open the door and go in the
We
attic.
didn't give Dean a chance
Yeah.
to do that.
To be fair,
So-
I would have gotten to the door, heard the noise, and been like, I'd turn to Amelia and be like,
I'm more just questioning if I'd like being within hearing range of all
You
this.
would probably see them go in and then go up that way and be
Yeah,
curious,
probably
like a
follow
little
them.
beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vale, are you there? Knock.
You hear like another thump, and then, yes, 1 moment, and like he opens the door, and in one hand he's got like a
Everyone's
hand.
standing there.
No, he's got like a handful of daggers, and he's like, yes.
can we...
Oh, right, yes, come in. And there's like a very scratched and marked area on one of the walls where you might be able to put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 3 daggers in his hand, scratch marked area on a wall. You've been hearing thumps every now and again.
Are you trying to dig your way out with a dagger? You crazy. There's a door.
I've been practicing throwing daggers because, you know, whoever does that in an actual fight, it's so unreliable.
I can throw a dagger, and it's fine.
You can throw a dagger?
I flat out, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I take the dagger and I throw it. I take one of them out of
Give me a attack roll for the dagger throw.
Amelia's loosening.
While drunk.
Yeah, you do. So I imagine Vale has drawn a bit of a target.
Holy shit.
On the wall, and it's literally middle. Not bullseye, but middle. Brilliant. Vale, who actually knows this shit, knows that she actually did it like perfectly without a thought.
Vale like goes, beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck.
Oh, it's like you're learning.
My asthma is the only like weapon I carry on me. You know that, right?
Not
You
really.
what, sorry?
I haven't
Yeah.
searched you for weapons. I carry quite a lot myself. Anyway, you had something to tell me.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was kind of blown away by Amelia's amazingly accurate, better than yours. knife
Beginner's
skills.
luck, yes.
And then I would proceed to tell him.
Yeah. We let you know about the Dragonborn.
We didn't speak to him.
No.
I thought it might have been a bit... Because I had just spoken to him, and if I leave and then come back with somebody else and speak to him again...
What?
What?
What have you been doing all this time? I mean, clearly you've been drinking, he points at Amelia.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. It was nice.
so this golden dragonborn is in the pub, yes. And he has seen you drinking for hours. And now we are going to go and ask him about the cultists of August. Tomorrow, maybe. And he will say, "Oh, I see, yes, you are worried about the cultists of August. Why did you spend all of yesterday drinking in the pub then?"
I mean, our party needs to rest and recuperate.
Would we go and would
I'll
we
be
go
honest.
to him?
I'll be honest. I'm just a little salty that you didn't invite me.
Oh.
Fair enough. Do you want to go get a drink? After this?
I could go get a drink.
Okay.
Amelia's up for more drinks after that row. You clearly do better with alcohol in your system.
Thank you, but no.
What if we bring Melody along?
Melody from the door.
I'll go over to the door, open it, and bring Melody in.
Would you like to go for a drink with us, Melody?
Melody just sort of looks at Gil,
Do you want to... Come on.
nods. She's clearly still a little bit like not happy about things, but
Stupid shit. Don't worry, alcohol is the cure.
And Amelia, you can come and speak to the Golden Dragonborn. Don't have to have a drink.
Very well.
I'm gonna go tell Sid. Or ask him to come.
Yes, get Sid to come. Vale's like, he's not got his armor on and whatnot, so he's like, he just tucks the dagger into his belt and then claps his hands. Ready to go?
I'll meet you there, I guess.
We'll wait. We'll walk down together.
Okay.
so I noticed. Can I just clarify? You mentioned the Golden Dragonborn to Vale. Did you actually explicitly mention the sort of
Yeah.
depressed
Yeah.
people
I would have
and
gone
such
into whole
like?
detail.
Yeah.
Because it's repetitive.
Just skip over it.
Melody would like when Gil was going to get Sid. Melody would sort of turn to Amelia and be like, "Melody can heal some poisons, diseases. Could try on unhappy people."
I think that's a great idea, Melody.
I think I'll take my pistol as well, because that's in a hole.
I think I'll take a piss.
It looks
While
swag
I'm
as
there.
hell.
I can imagine Vale saying that out loud. I think I'll take the
Yes,
pistol.
it is. It's in character.
Yeah.
So I'd go down to Sid's room,
Go down to
probably.
Sid, you knock, you wait, you knock, you wait, you open it anyway.
No. He knocks and he'd come over and he'd open the door. The room is still perfectly clean from like the last time. It looks exactly the same, maybe neatened up a bit from the last time. He obviously hasn't worked on anything. He's like, oh, hey there, Gil.
Hey, mate. Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, feet are a bit sore, but I imagine they'll be fine in like another day or so. I'm good for walking.
Speaking of walking, do you want to walk with me to the pub?
If you're going to a pub, I imagine that means everyone's going. Does this mean we're leaving town soon?
Hopefully.
What about the business with the deals and the peace treaties? Are those over?
I don't really know, but I think the sooner we get out of here, it's best for everybody.
But don't we have to finish the treaties?
Do we have to do that? We were kind of the middleman.
We interjected ourselves into the task. I mean, do we have to? No, but I mean, it was offered, and we offered, and we had a role, and then we just kind of dropped that role.
I think we dropped it for a good reason. Two of us now have been touched by this dodgy bullshit.
I mean, sure. Do they understand all of the details of what happened? And I just...
Look, I'm not saying let's pack bags and go now. I'm saying let's go to the pub and chill out for the night.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. He kind of like looks around like he's forgetting something, but then after like 30 seconds of thinking he's forgetting something and trying to figure out what it was, realizes he's not forgetting anything, and then leaves the room.
Okay. I'll follow behind him, I guess.
So you all go to the pub. A gnome, a half-elf, 2 humans, and an elf walk into a bar.
And the gnome walks under it.
Thank you, Dean Cuddy. We'll be here for an hour and a half.
Here for no longer.
Rocks fall and Gilwyn dies. You go back to the pub as...
That actually almost happened once.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think it wasn't Gil the one... Oh, yeah, it was the rocks that he killed it, not the snow. Not the avalanche. Words.
That's why you're playing Melody too much. You're forgetting how to word.
Yeah, I'm forgetting how to speak.
I've been looking in the book, and apparently I'm retarded. It's like I've been looking earnestly to find this, and I just can't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask Scott and Ollie. What's a character's base AC? Is it 8 plus Dex?
I want to say 8. No,
10.
10 plus Dex.
10.
It's 10, isn't it?
Because 8 is characters that are actively just not trying to dodge and kind of walking into danger, like zombies.
Cool. Thank you. That's it. I could not find that for the life of me in there. I mean, yeah. I was scrolling.
Yeah, you'll go to the pub, you sit down, you get some drinks. You like walk in, and the bartender goes over and gets you all drinks because he knows Sid and you just left, so he kind of figures you'll probably get another round. That does mean Amelia is handed another drink, of course. But someone else can drink it if you don't want it. And then gets money afterwards.
Just real quick to throw a bone to Amelia, I'll grab that drink and go get her a half.
Oh, thank you.
Fair. That's fair. Again, for the others, it's quiet in here. Most people are and this was used to be a very boisterous place. It's still boisterous, but there's of the 2 bards who used to play, neither are playing, and a lot of the sort of travelers that were like playing loud games or just chatting really loudly are either still here and not doing so, or just not here.
How are we seated?
Now you have a big round table.
Yeah, who am I next to?
It's up to you, innit?
Well, I imagine
is it important?
Melody would probably be... Melody probably wouldn't be next to Vale.
Melody's tried the best that she can to get between Gil and Amelia, and that's...
Yeah.
The realistic thing. Then probably next to Amelia is Sid, and then next to Sid is Vale, and next to Vale is Gilwyn.
Next to Sid. There we go.
Yeah.
So, Sid, I was thinking, when I was taking the armor off earlier, I know that you have tinkered with magic and whatnot, but when did you learn to make armor?
Some years ago.
Was it something you did out of interest, or was it required by the army?
It was a time of war.
I see.
Melody? Do you, it's okay if you say no. Do you want to try and play some music for everybody? Just by yourself this time?
Melody was sort of had a smile on her face at that, and then when you say on her own, she's sort of like.
Now, to be fair, last time Melody was here, Humble spent a bunch of time with her, actually getting her to play on her own, like playing with her and then teaching her songs she could play on her own. So she has played on her own here.
Yeah,
busy.
She would be a bit hesitant, but then after a few seconds deliberation, she would smile and nod and sort of draw out the words from where.
You've gone too druid.
Yeah.
I'll join you later if you want me to.
What did he just say?
He'll join you later. Sorry. He's had a bit to drink.
I'll join you later, Melody. It's okay.
And she'd nod at that and start strumming a tune.
Yeah, you don't need to give me a performance, or you're just sort of like playing some casual tunage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I pay 4 silver pieces and get a couple of gallons brought over in like big glasses?
Yeah.
Juggers.
Yeah, it's like you ask, and the guy's like, yeah. Takes your money and will happily serve. These guys seem to never have a lack of ale.
So, with a cursory glance, as I'm looking around, is the Dragonborn still in here?
Yes.
Yeah?
He's never been with anyone. He's always been set on his own. And how long do you think you stayed at the bar before? Probably like an hour, maybe 2? So he's been here for, what, 3-4 hours just on his own, drinking, eating. At this point, you've seen him get more meals and get more drink, that sort of thing. You're not paying a lot of attention because you know that would be obvious looking.
I'll lean in to Vale and Amelia and be like, if you think it's best to go talk to him now instead of tomorrow or whatever, then you can. I give you permission.
I look to Amelia.
Okay. I mean, do you want...
Maybe another drink first, and then we'll go over?
I'm not going to have another beverage, but you are welcome to.
You're not going to have another beverage? But how will we play cards? And he pulls out the pack of cards and slides them across the table. You did enjoy it last time, no?
Yes, but not so much the morning afterwards.
Stick with the herbs. You'll be fine.
I'm going to force drinking upon you, young lady. That's not creepy in the least.
Just wait a minute. I'm about to force drinking upon you too. Probably less effectively then.
Sid, would you like to play a game?
Yeah. What game you interested in playing?
Cards.
I only know the one.
That's my reaction when, like, over Christmas break, family are like, "You want to play board games?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what game is it that you are suggesting?"
So he actually looks at you and he's like, "Wait, which one game do you know how to play?"
Oh, the one we played the other night. What was it called, Vale?
Vale's gonna detail. It's like a ship. It's a ship game. So you're sitting around your big barrel with your cards, and your.
Of course, we don't have a real barrel.
and your nondescript grog. And he just explains.
This will have to do.
And I'll give it some random name to do with Bilgewake. Why not?
So you're gonna like start like kind of rattling this stuff off, and he's gonna be like, yeah. Pirates play this kind of stuff all the time. There are more sophisticated games if you want to play one of those. And he'll take the deck of cards, and he's got 14 decks, so he'll nimbly like shuffle the cards. And
he's
like,
got 14 decks. We realized that earlier on in the session.
This is the episode where we remember the old man is nimble.
He's like, before we get into one of these, do you remember how to play chess?
We didn't really play a lot of games at the college.
You never learned how to play chess? Awesome. I'm going to teach you how to play chess, but there's an easy way that we can do this. And he's actually going to lay out a row of cards face down, like tilted this way versus one's this way for pawns. And he's going to kind of describe all the chess pieces, but use like cards and use them as chess pieces. And he's going to teach you how to play chess using cards as the characters and like completely be like, you know, let me teach you a more sophisticated game.
I'm going to make a very simple assumption that, Amelia's interested. Vale gets less and less interested when he realizes it's chess, right?
Vale's gonna be like, so you drink when you take a piece, yes? he's like trying to understand why you play the game.
So
you wager?
Sid doesn't respond immediately, but when there's like that, and again for Vale it's not super uncommon to pause for long periods of time, but like when he doesn't like go away for like 6 seconds of silence, he'd be like, no, and to learn.
Right. So it teaches you the game.
No. Learning the rules of the game teaches the game. You play the game to learn yourself and to learn the person you're playing against.
So it's like drinking, yes?
You drink to forget yourself and the people that are forced to spend time with you. Speaking of, and he actually will be like, he says, speaking of, and he stands up and he's like, can we get a bottle?
Like, the bartender, like, hobbles over, looks at, like, the really big, like, pitchers of glass filled with ale, and is like, yeah. And I'll go get you a bottle of whatever poison you wish.
And so, hard liquor, go ahead.
Vale's going to comment that he doesn't like this game because he says, it's not inclusive. Only you two can play. And then he turns away with his drink.
When he turns away with his drink, he'll be like, funny, I learned much of other people by watching them. When the bottle comes over, Aaron, after we're like done going over like a mock play of the game so I can teach you the basics of the rules, we'll then throw in a funny little side drinking thing. Like, it's one of those things where it's like every time you have to ask a question of the rules,
right.
You have to drink, and every time I over-explain your question, I have to drink.
Personalized Sid and Amelia drinking game. So I assume Vale turns back to Gilwyn and Melody.
Melody's probably quite taken by watching the game as well. She'd probably be halfway through strumming a tune and then just stop and be watching.
I mean, unless I think he's a bit peeved at this moment, so he's gonna start slamming back the ales a little bit faster. But
elves drinking doesn't solve the problem. I can speak from experience.
You drink to forget who you're with. Quote Sid. So he will engage in some bawdy conversation with Gil if he's up for it, but he will start drinking now.
Gil would be doing that thing that you do when you're having like a plithy conversation with somebody but watching something else.
Yeah.
I'm watching these two play and I'm like, yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah.
With Sid. I'm trying to juggle both as best I can.
Cool. So that happens for a while. I want a intelligence roll from both of you.
Can I don't think this would have any impact on the rolls or anything, but I just want... Melody is sitting next to Amelia. She would be watching, and she's not the cleverest, but she's good at reading things and such like. So she would, occasionally, just when Amelia's going to move, she would just be trying to give her advice.
Fair.
She doesn't really know the game either.
Sid, I want to see that intelligence roll.
I mean, no. I'll roll this instead.
That's allowed. Yeah.
Mm.
Erin, Amelia actually beats you in the first.
But does she though? Because like, I use the rules and she just use a raw number.
Mm-hmm.
Does she though?
Yeah, you have a higher modifier. That's how it works.
Okay,
yeah, because she's utilizing.
then
If she's using a chess skill,
I mean,
she just
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
know how
also
to
use
play
the chess
chess.
skill.
So she
I
has
can
less
have
of
my
a
proficiency
modifier.
bonus.
You're the one that
Okay.
played D&D
Okay, how about this?
since you were fucking
After the
suckling on a
first time
pig.
she wins, and I'm like, good job, you picked up the basics. Now let me teach you the history of how these things work. So now I'm going to do it like this,
You know
and I'm
what?
going to add a 2 on top of
That's
that and get
okay.
a 24.
Do another intelligence roll, Amelia. You know what? That's allowed.
Getting that 20. Getting it all.
I know, right? It was funny.
And
He's like
actually-
going on about how warriors use chess, battle tactics, blah blah blah, and
As
Mind you, I'm getting drunk because I'm over-explaining.
you know.
It doesn't sound like an accurate representation of like an actual battlefield, though.
as Sid
What?
is explaining this, I'll look to Amelia and kind of like nod, like, "See, I told you he does this."
I'm like, what do you mean not an accurate representation of a battlefield? Are you kidding me? This is a perfect representation of the battle of, and I like start rattling off all these details and how this pawn is representative of like these 5,000 troops and this pawn is representative of these 3 troops and like, it's like, and the tactics that they use and in the mind, like, what? I mean, it's not supposed to be a perfect representation. It's supposed to be a higher learning example of how these kind of tactics and ways of.
Drink.
At first, he like grumbles every time he has to drink, but later on, it's just you start to say the word drink, and he's
like-
already throwing back the glass. Like, no, I don't care.
We've been there. Yes, I know this. I know this feeling. All right. So if you just are playing chess and drinking, then you can spend the night doing all of that. No issue. Gilwyn, at one point, you do notice that the Dragonborn does go upstairs. Give me a perception roll.
Perception.
Perception?
That's a 10. That's not very good.
Pretty bad perception. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Can I use luck? Is it too late?
You can use luck.
Shit.
Perception. Shitty perception. Yeah, you don't see shit. Well, you see him go upstairs, but like the conversation he has with the bartender, all that stuff, it's too. These guys are too loud and roaring drunk at this point to be. It's for you to be sneaky, and you're too drunk at this point to be sneaky. I'm drunk too, apparently.
But I noticed that he goes.
You notice that he goes upstairs. You know upstairs there are rooms because you've slept in some before.
Yeah. I'd probably kick Vale and like just sort of nod towards him in that case.
What?
Something you do notice, Gilwyn, actually, under the table when he got up, there was a very big axe, like unwieldily big, that he just like hefted over one shoulder and took back upstairs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just kick Vale and be like, he's on the move.
Right. Okay. Probably see him tomorrow? Look, do we want to do it now? We can go do it now.
I said don't do it now, and then you wanted me like give me some shit in the fucking room about not doing it now.
Look, I'm drunk. You want to do it now?
Your best work is when you're drunk. You know this.
Let's go do it now then. Come on, let's go. Let's go speak to him.
Amelia, we're gonna go do it.
Gonna make contact upstairs together. If you don't hear from us in a little while, come up.
How long is a little while?
Don't last very long in these sorts of things, so it shouldn't be
20
too long.
minutes.
A minute? 20 minutes?
20 minutes.
That's
It'll
a
Die
lot.
in
take,
20 minutes.
take a little bit of time. We'll have to warm him up first.
It's been a little while since I've done this, so I might be a bit...
10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's perfect.
More than enough time to kill you.
Oh, and come upstairs if you hear a gunshot. That's me. Probably.
This innuendo went really weird.
Let's go.
Alright, you go upstairs. He's like just unlocking the door to a room, and he's like bigger than the door, like in both height and breadth. You know, he's unlocking it, and he's got like big hands, and the keys are gnomish size, so he's actually kind of fumbling with it a bit. His other arm has a huge axe. So,
excuse me. I was wondering whether perhaps we could have a word in private.
What?
Well, I heard some information. May I lean in and whisper it to you?
Go ahead.
I heard that you were the man to speak to with regards to finding out about cultists of death in the city.
You're leaned into him. He kind of like exhales, and there's a sulfurous sort of smell.
Bad breath.
Why don't we talk behind the bar? Huh?
You mean behind the bar? Downstairs?
Behind the building, you...
Yep, right. Meet you in a few minutes then.
Just
yeah?
fucking follow me.
All right, let's
pushes
go.
past you,
and the big man with the axe says, "Let's go."
And he heads down, and walks outside and walks behind. And it's quite dark actually, but there's a little bit of light illuminating through windows.
Bell gives you a thumbs up, Amelia, as they head back out. He's like,
Is that a thumbs up to follow them, or a thumbs up they're okay?
I
don't know what that means.
There's a
I'll say that to Sid. Like, I don't understand.
Why? I drank a bit. What's going on?
So,
I remember what's going on. You see, this move over here, and the way that this works is, and he completely ignores, because he's been drinking a ton, the situation of what's going on, and he gets another 24. Sulfury smells, big axes, rooms, and behind bar. Sid doesn't notice that with his 4 perception, because that goes lower when he's drunk.
Okay. So when you get behind, and I imagine it is Vale and Gilwyn following him, like he turns very quickly, and his free hand like slams against the side of the bar, and it's pretty jarring. It's like, yeah, I know a thing or two about what happens under the sea. Why?
Well, a couple of my friends were affected in a similar way to some of the denizens of the city.
Yeah.
And we thought perhaps we would find out what's going on, or perhaps even put an end to it.
Scrawny little thing like you. Wow. Maybe.
I don't see how that's appropriate in this conversation.
Yeah, maybe you're a wizard or something. Maybe the gnome slave master will crack your leash and you'll be able to pull something out of that weaselly little body like yours.
He's not smart enough to be a wizard.
I'm gonna take a step back.
He actually grins at that and like points at you, but like with the end of the axe.
Yeah.
And he'll like actually heft it into the ground, like into the dirt, because this is like in upturned dirt basically. And he'll go, I have a map of the catacombs, incredibly detailed, from before I think even the city was constructed. It's why I'm here.
Right.
I might be able to sell it to you.
You might.
Mm-hmm.
For
1,000 gold pieces.
1,000 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm. With a gnome with you, you'll be able to handle that kind of gold, right? Their hands are coated in dirty, bloody money.
Well, that seems a little unfair to assume.
Really? Was your clan murdered by gnomish warships and gnomish war machines? See, that's the thing about gnomes. They don't even do the killing themselves. I could respect that. No, they make little weapons that walk on their own and talk on their own. Do everything for them. Spineless. Boneless cowards.
Call that a win.
My race of elves don't have clans, so no.
Alright. 1,000 gold? Do you have that? Does your race have that?
I think maybe we need to speak to our friends about it.
Yeah, go speak to your treasurer and work it out. I'll be back upstairs. Just knock if you change your mind. Oh, don't worry. I'm a light sleeper. And he'll walk past you again, brushing past you, and because he's a dragonborn and he's not wearing clothes, he just like scrapes you with the rough edge of the scales.
I don't like him.
I don't like him either.
He's not nice, is he?
Not a nice fellow.
Not nice at all.
All right.
Should we go back inside?
Yes,
With
let's have
that,
another drink.
we're actually going to end here. I know, it's an hour early, but the most astute of you might be able to hear my stomach is gurgling in not quite a good way. So we're going to end an hour early tonight. Just for good measure. I actually started today on the sort of Mass Effect show like, I don't feel good today. And I've managed
Almost couldn't make it.
Almost. The last hour of Scott.
And then
was
Frank
too
didn't
much.
make it.
And Frank didn't make it. So we'll end a little bit early. Next week you'll be able to barrel into the situation. What are you going to do about the Golden Dragonborn? Will Sid be too drunk to function? Will Amelia be too drunk to function? And will Melody finally get to play that duet with Gilwyn Gallagher? Who knows? But yeah, this was a fun little session. Things were pretty fun. But you know what's really fun? The Circle of Shame that starts with Rinsin. Rinsin, who are you? How are you? What do you like to do?
I am well. I am Rinsin on all things, including Twitter and Discord. And I play with you guys on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Great. Speaking of someone who plays with me at night most days.
Little too often.
Neil, who are you? How do you do?
I play D&D and Jarviskjir with Ollie twice a week, except not twice a week shortly, because we're going to be doing his own homebrew system, which is cool, which you guys may find out about at some point, but we'll see.
His old 4-year-old character in real time retired.
Quote-unquote retired, crusading up in the
He
north.
might come back one day.
He
You know how
will
it is.
come back, because
Mhm.
otherwise
what they all
it's too
say.
sad.
That is
He will
what
come
every
back.
retired character says.
No,
And
he
you like
will.
your new character and
No, he'll come back. He'll come back. Shush you.
Mhm.
And I occasionally watch these guys stream, and I'm in the False Pretenses Discord, and I occasionally pop on and say stuff on there. And Ollie and Dean work really...
Dean
Dean
works
does.
really hard too.
Dean does.
Yeah, Dean does work really hard.
Ollie, Scott, and Dean work really hard. Dean's streaming more. And they work really hard at this. I mean, you've seen that they've been streaming all day, basically, today. This is their day of streaming.
Scott
They've
is
both
going to
yet
go and
really
stream
struggled
more
with
after this.
words. And they work really hard, so you guys should support them if you can.
With money.
In any way you can.
With
Whether
money.
that's sharing it with your friends,
With 1,000
Or
gold
with-
pieces.
or with bitty bits, or with just saying that Golden Dragonborn was a jerk.
He was a jerk.
I wonder
I know,
why
right?
I wonder
What
why the
dick?
Golden Dragonborn was a jerk. It's almost like Patreon supporters get to make NPCs that act how you wish in the world of Jarviskjir. Speaking of support, Dean, I actually believe you may have some news today about what you've been doing.
I thought you were
got a
going to make a
baby?
bra.
I was
Honestly,
going-
waiting for the bra joke.
I was going,
I was waiting for the
and then I
bra
was
joke, or
like,
like
you
a
know what?
jockstrap.
No, I'm actually just going to be a good friend and help give a platform for you to
Speaking
speak
of
from.
support, how's that B cup? Yeah, Dean Cutty on everything. You know the place to look for me. I've got a Twitch channel as well, Dean Cutty, obviously. Go follow me because I'm starting to stream more. Thursdays and Fridays is the normal, I think, what I'll be aiming for every week, Thursday and Friday for now, until my uni schedule is all sorted out.
That sort of thing changes a lot.
I've written some music for a holiday-themed first-person shooter that's just come out on Steam and the Humble Store and stuff. It's called Seasons Beatings. So go check that out. It's really fun. I wrote the music for it, so you buy that, it supports me as well, which is cool.
Listen to the soundtrack; it's pretty good, actually.
Thanks. Thanks very much. The 29th, I think it is. We've got Checkpoint coming out again. I wrote all the music for that. A mental health video game YouTube series on Steam as well, which is really cool. And Judge Mathis, I don't think we're doing it this week. We're doing it next week. So youtube.com/Judge Mathis. I edit video game comedy videos over there.
I just realised Scott got unmodded because I banned him at some point. Speaking of bee cups, I had to trap a wasp in a cup. I've had the first wasp of the year, and I'm not happy about it. It's not even the end of January, and I got a wasp.
First wasp of the year, isn't that a Skrillex song?
It does sound like. It also sounds like it could be a D&D campaign, but like a level 1 giant wasps.
I love it.
Seeing the wasp, dealing with wasps made me think of giant wasps, and I love low level. That's why you guys haven't.
Me
too.
too.
For a while.
I love low level. We're too low. We're too high. Let's D-level. We gave up this quest, so we D-rank.
I mean, I want to, when my schedule clears up, do another D&D show, and guess what? They're gonna start at level fucking 1. That's right. Speaking of level 1, the human equivalent of level 1, Arvine, how you doing?
That's so mean.
You see, that almost screws up the joke I was going to play. Because I was just going to go, I'm basically Neil, minus 10 levels of social and plus 10 levels of weeb. Which pretty much, in comparison to what Neil said, pretty much sums me up.
Yeah.
With can speak another language as well. So,
to be fair,
pretty useful in the party.
Of the 5 of you, 3 of you are pretty weeby. So... just because Ian's the master weeb.
Everyone looks around
the thing is, if you're not a weeb, you can't even appreciate how much more weeb
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. You need to know intimately weeb culture to get how weeb Ian weeb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was too much.
It's wholesome stuff, though.
It is
Ian's
usually
weeb.
sometimes.
It's wholesome weebiness, you know.
Yeah.
We had a conversation very recently about how not wholesome that weebiness is. And the expectations.
You were being
and the expectations.
Speaking about someone
there,
who's not wholesome, Scott, who are you? What do you like to do?
Listen, all I have to say is Dean's range. I was just listening to his wonderful melody, Seasons Beatings. I tried to post a link, but Ollie's a cock. So I was listening to the wonderful melody. I
believe posting something that could have been porn.
It may have been porn.
We didn't know if it was porn, and I'm not checking.
I don't remember if it was or not either, so it's okay. All that matters is I actually just checked out Seasons Beatings. It's actually pretty funny. It looks hilarious. My favorite is a little postcard that says, "Dear player, you didn't win, but at least it's still Christmas." That's awesome. That's funny. All right, I'm Delric. You can find me by Googling Delric. I'm going live at 9 p.m. EST on Lost Initiative. So you can Lost Initiative show.
What are you doing on there today, Scott?
That's a really good question. I don't know because my communication is very low over there. So I'm either helping to generate another PC's character or doing a solo session with my character.
Oh yeah.
I'll find out at 8:55.
I think you're doing the solo session, is what Mike's told me.
Good that he told you, Dean. I told you.
I found out last night or yesterday morning, somewhere in that gap, that it's one of 2.
Okay.
When did you get your information?
A couple of days ago when he streamed.
Okay. So yeah, there we go. So it's somewhere in the. We'll find out.
We know what Mathis is like though.
I wasn't gonna say his name.
And then there's me, little old me, only with an upstick tummy. I stream this show. I'm on Scott's shows. I do art streams. I'm playing Okami on Sunday. That's fun.
What a game.
Weeb.
Huh?
What a game.
I'm really enjoying it.
Holy
a lot more
fuck.
talking and story than I expected for some reason, but I'm down.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, so hang out for that. And everything is always on the YouTube. So if you're on the YouTube and you're like, why is this only a 3-part episode? This is why, because I'm a little weak baby with -2 constitution.
True. Somebody roll a dice for me.
Oh yeah, someone roll a dice for
That
D.
time.
I will roll a D13.
Ollie didn't mention, but he's a very busy boy with commissions at the moment. So you should bombard him with more questions about getting commissions, because it's some excellent.
I actually have commission time on
'Cause it's
stream. The
some
work I'm
excellent
doing
art.
is off stream.
Yeah,
I
that's
can do
true.
stuff during streams.
And you can get beautiful art of your much loved D&D
Beautiful
characters
shirts.
to frame on your wall, so that you can repeatedly tell yourself that you're going to come back and play them again. And then,
Are you actually gonna frame pictures of your boy?
if
baby
it was
boy?
big enough, I might frame one in my gaming room.
The
Yeah.
one I just did should upsize
Yeah.
pretty well on.
I might
canvas
get
or
it printed
poster.
properly and frame it up in my to be gaming room.
I might have to
And it
send
might
you
sit
the link
behind
above
me.
it.
It might sit behind me when I'm streaming. So you
Dean.
might see it. We'll see.
What did you get?
I'm waiting for Ian to tell me the roll.
28.
It's 28.
28. I didn't hear that.
The audience. can
That's
see
not a
it.
very interesting tweet. It's not going to make any sense.
That's
Good.
half the fun.
That's the better
No,
one.
Wait,
yeah,
has
the
that come up with? Has that come up with what? I might have miscounted. In which case, it would be extremely
Part of
amusing.
the game is that you can't count any.
So for those of you who don't know, this is the section where we read one of Ian's tweets out of context.
It's making him tweet more.
Is this somewhere? Are you looking
Should
at
we
the
be
January
encouraging
15th
that?
one, Ian?
Yes, I'm looking at the January 15th one. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a January 15th or a 14th one, but the 15th is a good one.
That fight ended up surprisingly well, until our cleric banished the last big demon back to the hells and inadvertently sent 2 of our party members with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That has no relation to Neil retiring his character at all. At all.
It didn't get sent to the house. Definitely didn't have a spine demon, spine tail in me, penetrating me at all. No
Yeah.
poisoning was had. No
So,
god call needed to be made
If you
successfully.
want to find out more about that, I probably will talk about it on my Patreon and all that sort of thing. But that's it for me today, because I need to go and have a little sleep. You'll be a baby bitch. But we'll see you next week.
I didn't say the words.
I know what you're thinking. I know you.
I ain't
know
say them.
you, Scott Davis. All right.
Oh, you do know me.
So we shall see you all next week, and I might be in a new gaming room then.
Yes. You better be waiting.